Hello Warfighters, war is hell. We're reaching the end of 2018, we're starting 2019. A year ago I made a video similar to this where I talked about some of the best things that occurred over the past year, as well as some of the things that I'm hoping to do in 2019. I feel like that this is important to share with all of you because I've always viewed this channel more as a community than I have like my own personal YouTube channel. So I feel it's important to share with you some of the goals, to be transparent, not only because I feel that's important to you from a level of accountability, but also to get your guys' help on some of the things that I feel like we need to work on, or some of the successes that we've had, because many of you have been a part of it. So the way that we're going to do this is we're going to review 2018 pretty briefly, and then we're going to talk about 2019 as well. 2018 was the second full year that we've had the War is Hell YouTube channel, and looking back, there's so many great things that took place. 2018 was definitely a great year for this community, and I really want to thank all of you for being a part of this community, stopping by, subscribing, saying hi, all that type of stuff, because it really means a lot, and it's really because of you guys that we've had the successes that we've had. For example, one of the biggest things that I think is a success for this community over the past year has been the creation of PSO, or Praetorian Security Operations. That is this community's Arma 3 unit. Since the formation of PSO, converting from just, hey, we're a community who gets together, to kind of more of a organized effort, it's been a lot of fun. As a private military company unit, it gives us a lot of great freedom in developing stories, content, all that type of stuff that is very unique to YouTube. We've had more and more people join. We have our core base, and there's a lot of potential for PSO in the future. So it's really cool that we've been able to create that. Of course, we want to invite everybody who wants to take part in it to do so, because I think it's a lot of fun. Honestly, we as the admin team for PSO are really doing a lot to try and improve the quality of the missions that are made, the way that it all connects to a story and things like that, because we feel that there is a lot that is expected of what we produce, the types of missions and content, of course, that I post on here as well. We want to live up to those expectations. So I'm really hoping that in 2019 we see a continual increase of the quality that you see from PSO, that all of us in our roles on the admin team continue to improve, and we make a great unit for everybody to join if they want to. Also, another big thing that I listed down, this is the number 2. I have like top 5 basically. So number 1 was PSO. Number 2 was Operation Unthinkable. I'd always known that the alternate history series are the most popular and most successful series on this channel. I think it's primarily because they are story driven. You've got the cinematics that kind of tie some things together, and it's a story that you can follow in an episodic nature, going from one week to the next. Operation Unthinkable, by and large, just blew me away with the amount of people who watched those videos, who commented on the videos and things like that as well. Like I said, in the past, the alternate history series had been the biggest ones, but Operation Unthinkable was the most successful alternate history that I've had so far. I'm still trying to grasp why that was, if it was because it was in a World War II setting, if it was on this large, massive scale, if the story was, geographically territory is taken, and so it's very clear when success or defeat is kind of prevalent, or the outcome is basically clear. There's a lot of things I'm still trying to grasp, but knowing that Operation Unthinkable has been such a success for me is a big motivation to continue making these types of series, and also to try and improve. The things that were good about that, I of course want to take into the Soviet Civil War in the 2 series that I have planned after the Soviet Civil War. So I'm looking forward in 2019 to how that kind of unfolds. We also got our first sponsorship, so this is number 3 as a community. Arma Host has been very gracious in being supportive of us. They retweet, some things that we'll post on our Twitter. They provide us our server, things like that as well. So it's really great to get to the point where we are a community that can obtain sponsorships. So I really want to thank Arma Host for being a partner of this group, and I'm looking forward to continue partnerships with Arma Host in the future. And just kind of helping us get to the point where we can do things like PSO and stuff like that and be financially secure. So thank you. This one at number 4 actually surprised me. It wasn't until I went back and watched the previous like year-end video that I even knew that this was done in the past year, but Discord. One of the goals I had in 2018, and I feel like I accomplished this, was to connect more with all of you as the viewers. That for me is important. So I did things like, responding to comments a lot more than I had in the past. I also, had announced the Discord in the 2018, looking forward to 2018 video. And so looking at where we're at now, we have over 300 plus people in the Discord, which for me, I figured that's quite a bit. It was even today I noticed that I'm like, oh man, we're over 300 plus. That's awesome. But our Discord is used to have some great conversations. We have what's called the think tank, where a few of us will post some very serious information about military technology, kind of looking at different military scenarios and stuff like that, and have honest and open discussions with informed individuals on those topics. That is great. We also have announcements that are made for the channel, of course, that take place in the Discord. We have PSO, all the communication for Praetorian security operations takes place there as well. The Discord has just been awesome to get to know a whole bunch of people, even outside of that, just a general, hey, snack bar, how's it going type of thing. So that is a really big thing that happened in 2018. The 5th one for me is kind of taken place more recently, and I consider it a pretty big win for me personally, more than professionally, and that is that I have started streaming, particularly with like the face cam and stuff like that. I have a real problem with social anxiety. That's something a lot of people don't know about me. It's something that I do struggle with, so it was very, very difficult for me to even turn on the camera and show you guys what I looked like. But streaming is a great way to connect with you guys more, for you guys to see what I'm doing, how I go about creating some of the content that I do. And so starting that as well is great for the channel, but for me, this was kind of like a big personal one that I wanted to put on there, again, was streaming. So over the past year, looking at some of the videos too, I kind of wanted to call out 3 videos that stood out for 2018. First of all, the most viewed video that we had in 2018 was German Uprising. That was episode 1 of Operation Unthinkable. I talked a little bit ago about the success that we had with the Operation Unthinkable series, and this is just one of the ways you can measure how successful it was just taking a look at the total view count. But German Uprising, again, this is one of those ones that I'm like, what was it about this one that kind of made it stand out? Was it because it was episode 1? Was it because here's this idea of Germans uprising, against the Soviet Union? I mean, how or what caused this to be, the most viewed? Either way, I'm super happy about it. I'm glad, actually, of all the videos that this is, one of the most viewed for sure. I think it really sets the stage pretty well for what people would see for the rest of the Operation Unthinkable series, so I'm glad that it's there. The video that I am the most proud of personally, this might not be the one that you guys had enjoyed the most, but for me, from a mission creation standpoint, I always tried to push myself more and more. In fact, it's gotten to the point now where I'm like, oh man, I need to stop being so becoming so much of a perfectionist and trying to add these little, or to fine tune things so much here to kind of make things better than they were before. But the video Streets of, or the Second Battle of Berlin, was the one that I was just so proud of how that one turned out. It took me 2 weeks actually to develop that mission, particularly from the visual standpoint. This is one that I really wanted to make sure stood out as a mission that people would remember, and kind of look at visuals as being what drove how some people would remember this particular video. Looking at some of the comments, it looks like I was very successful in that, but it was cool that I had to tweak a couple of things as well. Like I learned a lot about some of the particulars of Arma, and also how I kind of fudge some things to make things still look pretty good that a lot of people didn't even notice, but kind of work my magic behind the scenes with a lot of stuff. But when that one came out and that one got done, Yeah, I felt like more than any other video, that was the one I had to pat myself on the back for getting completed. So that was a really good one. The video that I had the most fun playing and creating was Heroic RAF Ace. So this is a video that is not Arma. One of the things that I do with my alternate history series is I do tie all of them into, the alternate history series will tie multiple games to help try and tell the story from a different perspective, things that would influence what would be going on in the overall engagement. So I used IL-2 to showcase some of the things that would be taking place in the air. I got to use my HTC Vive for this particular mission and play it in virtual reality. For me, that was just absolutely amazing to feel like I am in the cockpit, to go up above the clouds, look down, feel like I'm seeing the clouds, you know, below my wings and all of that. It was a rush. And for me, I love flying. I love it a ton. So for me to get a chance to play this in virtual reality, to feel like I'm actually in the cockpit of a Spitfire was awesome. I was on cloud 9 throughout all of that. I hope to be able to do some more stuff like that in the future, actually, to use my HTC Vive and to fly a lot more, because for me, it's just so much fun. Like, this is another thing a lot of people don't know about me, is I really wanted to be a fighter pilot when I was growing up. I was told I'd have to wear glasses, and LASIK didn't count back then as, going through that procedure and getting 20/20 vision. So when I was told I was going to have to wear glasses, I actually cried because I knew I'd never be a fighter pilot anymore. So for me to fly in virtual reality and stuff, it's kind of like I get to live my dream. But anyway, that's for another video. But anyway, that was the most fun that I had in 2018. Again, 2018 was just a phenomenal year, a lot of successes. And so I look back fondly on this year. I hope you guys too. And I'd be interested to read below what are some of the things that stood out for you guys in 2018. All right, so let's talk about what to expect in 2019. Now, 2019 is going to be a very, very big milestone year for this channel, regardless of what happens. I guess unless I go ahead and just straight up quit, but I should be achieving 10,000 subscribers. Personally, I have set a number of goals for myself once I hit 10,000 subscribers. So I'm going to be talking about some of the things that kind of fall outside of that 10K milestone as well, except for the fact to recognize that I should be hitting 10K subscribers in this next year. For me, that's a pretty big deal. I know I am not a big YouTuber by any stretch of the imagination, but 10K is a milestone worth celebrating. So there is that. So here are my top 5 goals. Number 1 is to connect with Arma partners a lot more and be involved with the Arma community, outside of what we've established right here. The biggest aspect of this is I do want to connect with Arma YouTubers. This is something that I had set for the previous year, but I had actually failed to really do that to the standard that I had kind of set for myself. There's a lot of great people who play Arma and post on YouTube that I want to get to know, maybe do some stuff with as well, just to produce some great content or to be able to bounce ideas off of each other and things like that as well. For me, that's kind of difficult to do because I'm always afraid that if I try to reach out to larger YouTubers than myself, it'll come off as, I'm trying to piggyback off of them, or I want something, out of them outside of the idea that I really want to collaborate and network with these people. So that way, collectively, we can produce some great Arma content for everybody. I also want to do more with milsim groups as well. PSO is great, and I definitely am committed to PSO, but there are some great people who are out there as well who have some other great units that I would love to be able to showcase on the channel as well that are in the milsim community. When the videos for the 43rd Marine Expeditionary Unit stopped because I left the group, one of the ideas that I had was doing like a traveling milsim type of thing where, once a week I'd go around to a different group to kind of showcase them. I ended up not really being something that I could do because a lot of units wanted me to go through basic training and things like that before I could start playing with them. But there's a lot of great content on YouTube outside of what you see on this channel, and a lot of great units too. There's like Star Sims that do Star Wars, there's Halo groups, you've got World War II units, you have Marine Expeditionary units, airborne units, just a whole bunch of different stuff out there that I would love for you guys to see what that is like. One of the things that I've always personally wanted to do is be a big promoter of the Arma 3 Milsim community, and showcasing some of these different units would be important. So building these relationships with these other individuals and also being able to showcase content on this channel for me is a big thing. Also, Bohemia Interactive is obviously the biggest Arma partner here that I want to continue to build relationships with. I've been really happy that Rob has come along as the community manager. It's been great to be able to talk to him, bounce some ideas off of him as well. And I really hope that him and I can continue to have a great relationship and also continue to look for opportunities to kind of help one another in promoting Arma and our mutual success. So goal number 2 for me in 2019 is to increase channel revenue. This is one of the things that I was kind of hesitant to share with you guys, that this is a big goal for me because it sounds pretty selfish, but really I really want to explain that increasing channel revenue isn't specifically just for me. I am somebody who has a full-time job. I have never considered YouTube to be a full-time job. Even if I was making a ton of money off of it, I've still got a family of 4 guys, and it's a source of revenue that's pretty flaky at times. But what I do with the income that I do receive from YouTube, also from Patreon, is I pour it back into the channel. For example, our Arma Stories series, we have voice acting that has been done to kind of help enhance that story so you guys connect with that particular character more than if I were to just introduce and narrate the entire story. It goes to help purchase games that you see on this channel and things like that as well. There's a lot of stuff that I would love to be able to do with this channel, but I can't because I don't have the financial resources, and I am kind of hesitant about pouring my own personal money in it when I've got, again, 4 kids and stuff like that I have to take care of. For example, and I'm not afraid to tell you guys this now, again, this video is for the sake of transparency, so let's be completely honest here. There is one alternate history series that I want to do so incredibly bad, but I can't, because with alternate history series, I am restricted to the mods and maps that currently exist and are available for Arma 3. I want to do a series where we look at what would have happened if the United States had invaded North Vietnam. It's a big alternate history question that I've heard some people ask in the past. Why did the United States stay in the South? Well, the biggest reason is because there was a fear that China would invade North Vietnam, similar to how China invaded North Korea in the Korean War. The problem is there are not any assets or mods or anything like that for China in the late 1960s, early 1970s. I'd have to have that created, and the best way to get it done is to commission or to pay somebody to make that type of stuff for me. So that is the type of stuff that I'm looking to really increase channel revenue to be able to do, to increase the type of quality content and to be able to showcase new storylines and things like that that I could not do otherwise. So one of the goals, of course, for increasing channel revenue is to at least double the Patreon donations that I have every month. That is steady revenue that I set aside for various projects and things like that as well. I have goals and stuff that are tied to the particular income that I get. So that is one of the things that I've got for increasing channel revenue, is double the Patreon contribution, and that is total amount that is being contributed. I also want to find another brand deal or another sponsorship or a brand deal that could potentially bring in revenue to the channel as well. This is something that I think will be very difficult, and it is kind of tied to the 10K subscriber, because I feel like at 10K there are a lot more opportunities that are opened up. I mean, at the very least, 10K looks a lot better than 9.3 or 4, wherever I'm at right now. So and then also to become a Twitch affiliate as well. I don't think that this is going to be something that is going to bring in a lot of revenue. I feel like Arma is not the best game to play when it comes to streaming, and I won't gather a large audience, but I think that'll help me personally to drive me to stream more, and any type of additional revenue is helpful to be able to achieve some of the things that I want to do here on the War is Hell channel. 3, this goal for me is kind of a lot more personal, but it is to be more efficient as a YouTuber. I struggle with this problem that I have so many different ideas that pop into my head of things that I think would be great for the channel. And so this has made it to where I have played a number of games and have stopped playing them. I have created a number of series that I think would be great, but I don't complete them on time, or just kind of play those series sporadically, and the schedule can vary quite a bit. I think it's pretty widely known that Sundays are the days that I post the alternate history series, but the rest of the week, sometimes, at least on my end, it feels like it can be a free-for-all. So I feel like that things I need to do is kind of focus particularly on Arma, maybe plus one game, to kind of be more efficient in the area of what games that I end up playing. You know, kind of go through one game at a time, have a clear start and end, you know, be very consistent with the series that I do, shrink them down to ones that I think make sense, and then also have a schedule that is available to all of you and is one that I adhere to. I know the schedule that can be a challenge because, you know, with all the things I'm trying to balance, 4 kids, college, my full-time job, and this can be difficult, and sometimes I'm up till, well, like right now it's 3:30 in the morning and I'm making this video. I stretch myself pretty thin sometimes, and so there are some days where I'm just like, you know what, I'm going to bed, I'm not making a video tomorrow. So I'll try to stick to the schedule as much as possible, but I hope you guys understand that there will need to be some flexibility in me developing a solid schedule. This is also going to mean, though, that I'm going to have to really get feedback from you guys as far as what series are the most important ones to you. I feel like that my Arma 3 Milsim and the alternate history are ones that I don't want to touch at all. Those are ones that I think are core parts of this channel, but what else needs to be added or taken away, we'll see. That's another thing, actually, I would want you guys to comment below. Let me know what you think. More storied content is something for me that is a goal for 2019. Looking at why I think alternate history is successful is because, as I mentioned, that it is in a story form. There's an episodic format which carries on from week to week, and to be able to do more stuff like that, I think would be good. So where do I see potentially more storied content? Well, that's a good question. Creating a story means it's more work. It's, you know, one thing if I just pop on the computer, play a game, record it, and just post it automatically, but trying to connect everything together in a way that makes sense, narrating that, and then also maybe developing cinematics, that takes a lot of time. So I've got to be efficient about that. So I'm looking at things we might be able to do with PSO to build a story with some of the missions that carry on from one episode to the next, so that way you guys can see that as something similar, almost like an alternate history but multiplayer type of thing. Again, that'll be quite a challenge, but we can do that. I think Arma Stories is going to play a role with that as well. The format for Arma Stories may change, but I want to do something that allows you guys to connect with an individual character or a person, as to opposed to alternate history where the people change, the setting changes, because you're looking at a larger conflict at that point. And finally, looking at community events as a way to generate story-driven content as well. I think that is huge, whether it's, you know, an alternate history episode that is played out by anybody who wants to end up coming, or maybe we do something fun that's tied to the story that might maybe be non-canon or something. You know, not too long ago, Dan of Wales, one of the admins for PSO, wanted to come up with a Battle of Castle Itter mission, which we ended up doing as a community event. Maybe we do something more historical in nature like that as well. There's a lot of opportunities that we have to do some more story content that I think is efficient and can enhance the quality of content on this channel in 2019. Number 5 is looking at ways to incorporate more military themed content to the channel as well. This might be incorporating more military strategy into some of the things that you see. Maybe it is a series where we talk about, very military themed stuff, information. I was trying to do things with my military research, but my university kind of screwed me over on that, so it wasn't something that I'm able to currently continue at this time. But for me, it's something that I'm passionate about, and I want to make sure that I share that with you guys on the channel in 2019 and beyond. So this was a much longer video than I was initially anticipating. It looks like I'm at about the 25-minute mark. Yeah, but there's a lot of information here, and as I mentioned, I want to share this with you guys. I want you to know what my hopes and dreams are for 2019, and I hope you guys share them as well, or can at least provide me some input on what you think about this information. So your comments are always important, but in this episode, it's definitely important that I hear what you guys think and what you guys would want to see in 2019, as well as what you guys thought was great over the past year. So please, please, please comment as much as you want below and tell me basically everything you think, because that'll be absolutely valuable. If this is your first video, wow, congratulations for sticking through all of this. Please subscribe and also hit the notification bell so that way you guys can be notified on when new videos come out. Like the video if you like some of the things that I said. Join our Discord. I mentioned that was a big thing for us in 2018. It will continue to be so in 2019. So I'd love to have you guys there in the Discord to kind of be part of our conversations and to be in the know on what's happening with this community. And remember, one of the goals that we've got is doubling the Patreon total income that we're getting over this next year. So if you can donate at all to the Patreon, as I mentioned, it's going to go a long way. It's going to help me provide some great content on this channel. So please donate if you can. But thanks for watching, you guys. I appreciate it. You are phenomenal individuals. You really are. Thanks for being so supportive of me, what we do here. I'm looking forward to 2019. But war is hell. You don't have to worry, because warfighters have got your 6.